There's a little detail about my hydroponic setup that sort of annoys me. It's a trivial thing, really. It's the fact that some of the water actually evaporates from the tank itself, from the reservoir I have it in, and some of it actually escapes when the pump is running. So there's a little bit of an issue, not a big one, that about once a week or so I have to add more water to my 5-gallon bucket. It's a problem when I want to go away and it's going to cross over into another week. I don't want to burn out the pump and I want to keep my plants alive. So what I decided to do was add a second reservoir, a water tank on the outside, if you will, that will allow me to take the water and have an extra 3 to 5 gallons of water that can then drain into my tub, into my reservoir. So I did a little theorizing and came up with a couple of ways to do this. There were a couple of ideas that I had. One is to put another pump in this second reservoir and just pump the water in there periodically. So the other answer is to do some sort of gravity feed. But I couldn't constrain it enough to make it so that the amount of water that would go in wouldn't overflow the tank consistently. It's a finicky thing to try and design that. It's fine if you want it to run once, but if you want it to run sort of when the water level drops, it doesn't really work that well. So I was like, you know what I need is I need a float valve. A float valve will solve this problem for me. So I went on Amazon and I found a float valve. This is like a $3 model that they sell. Very simple in its design. The water goes in here, it comes out here. All you have to do is put a hose on it. So I put a hose up to my bucket, and then there's a little float valve in here. And when that floats up, then it lets the water through. It opens the little switch in there and lets the water run through. Perfect, I thought. So I went ahead and got my bucket, put it together, put the whole system out there, and then realized that it didn't work. And why didn't it work? It's the fact that this float valve needs 0.2 kilograms per centimeter squared to be able to run. And the PSI works out to be pretty close to 3 PSI. So I thought, let's do a little quick science lesson here. How much does water flow through a pipe? And the answer is it flows through at about 1/2 PSI per foot. So now that I have the theory, let's go ahead and test it out and see if that actually turns out to be true, and see if moving it up about 3 feet will turn this valve on and make it run. And the answer is yes, it does. That's so cool that it actually works that way. That the math works out really well, that as soon as I put it about 3 feet up, it started to work.